Hey everyone, it's Lydia with. I used to do some sleep work, so that was coming to mind. My name is Lydia, www.lydiahillhypnotherapy.directory, and I have a program now called Rock Solid Self Trust. And today I want to talk about 4 breathing exercises that you can do just to reduce your anxiety. I'm really not going to talk about my program. I just want to talk about some tools that you can use if you are someone who feels anxious. I do a breathing exercise in the car almost every day. I do it driving to work so that I can calm myself before I start my work day. I do it whenever I'm going to encounter someone who I feel might be a scary person. I mean, I do have a rock solid self trust, but there are little incidences throughout the day where your anxiety rises just a little bit. So I manage my own anxiety, and it takes one to know one, right? To reduce that anxiety, these breath exercises I have practiced for a very long time because I was a yoga practitioner for over 20 years. So I know a little bit about pranayama, and pranayama is the Sanskrit word for breathing exercises. So the first one I want to show you is called the 4-7-8 breath. Andrew Weil also does this breath, and it's breathing in for a count of 4 and then holding the breath in the body for a count of 7 and then exhaling to a count of 8. So I'm just going to demonstrate these. I'm going to talk about them and then demonstrate them, and I'll move on to the next one. So this is what it looks like. I'm going to uncross my legs and sit at the edge of my chair so that my spine can be vertical. And you don't have to do anything with your hands. I mean, I actually do this when I'm driving. You keep your eyes open. It's just breathing in for 4, holding for 7, and exhaling for 8. So just watch. So I don't know if you could hear my breath, but it's called a rasp breath, and it's what we do in yoga. It's a rasp breath, which can generate energy if you're doing asana, if you're doing an active practice. So you don't have to breathe that way. That's just a little bit of a tightening of the throat muscles. So let's just say you were trying to fog a mirror. You constrict the vocal cords slightly and fog the mirror, and then you clean the mirror. In that same way, you constrict the throat as you exhale, and you make that sound. So you can do it that way audibly or without a sound. I'll show you one more time. So that was actually 4-7-10 because I've been doing this work for a long time, so I can control my breath pretty easily. But feel free to do 4-7-8. You could do 4-7-7 to begin with if you can't get to 8. So play around with that, but definitely allow the exhalation to be longer than the inhalation. So with 4-7-8 breath, the exhalation is twice as long as the inhalation. The next one I'm going to show you is called alternate nostril breathing. It looks kind of funny, but you can keep your eyes open for this. And what you use are these 2 fingers here and the thumb. And so it's these 2 fingers and the thumb that are on each side of your nose. And you block one side and inhale, and then you block the other side and exhale. And this is a way to just slow down the inhalation and exhalation because you're making the passage through which the air passes through, you're making it smaller so that you have to take more time to breathe in and more time to breathe out. So it's just sort of a different way, a different doorway in to slowing down the breath. So let me say here that slowing down the breath soothes the nervous system. And so the point here is to reduce anxiety and to reduce self-doubt, right? And so if you soothe the nervous system, you are in fact reducing your anxiety, which in turn reduces your self-doubt. You just feel more calm. So you have access to yourself in a way that you don't when you have anxiety, because when we have anxiety and when it spikes, you're sort of lost. I know for me, I just kind of panic. So to have rock solid self-trust helps us to stay grounded and centered. All right, so nostril breathing. I'm going to use my ring finger and pinky finger of my right hand. And on your screen, it will be the left side, and my thumb. So inhale. Pause. Exhale. Pause. Inhale on this side. Pause. Exhale. And that completes one round. So it's inhale, exhale, and then inhale, exhale. And that is a very good pranayama. You can also, so if you start on this side, then the next one would be starting on the left side. So I'll show you that, where you start on the other side and do the same cycle. So watch. Pause. Exhale. Pause. And now I'm inhaling without changing. Pause. Exhale. And then you take your hand down. So I would recommend that you sit in cross-legs position. I'm in a room here, away from my house and away from family members and away from my cat, who cries when she's not with me. And then when she's with me, she cries for attention. So I just needed to find a really quiet space in order to do this work. So I would just recommend sitting in a cross-legs position on the floor to do that, or you could sit in a chair and do this work. And like I said, I do it while I'm driving, if I'm driving somewhere where I need to calm myself. The next one I want to show you is called Viloma 1, which is interrupted, I believe it's interrupted exhalation. It's Viloma 1 and Viloma 2. So Viloma is a Sanskrit word that means against the grain. So if you picture your favorite dog or your favorite cat, picture patting the fur of your favorite dog or your favorite cat. And now picture patting the dog in the opposite direction. It doesn't feel right, does it? It doesn't feel like that's what you want to do. You want to stroke your kitty or pat your dog, in the direction of the fur. And so this is what Viloma means. It means that we're going against the grain, which is to interrupt the exhalation instead of allowing it to be smooth. After you do interrupted exhalation, your breath does, feel very smooth. It's very interesting. It's a subtle distinction, and you have to do this for a while before you understand that there's different qualities to the breath. And after doing the pranayama, the breath is very smooth, but that's sort of an aside. Okay, so interrupted exhalation. So it looks like this. Exhale 1, pause. Exhale 2, pause. Exhale 3, and empty the lungs. So I want you to imagine that your lungs are like a pitcher with one layer and then another layer and then another layer, pitcher full of water, let's say. So you're pouring out just a little bit, and then you pour out a little bit more. And then you pour out the rest of the water. So your lungs, imagine the lungs being like a container, right? You fill up the lungs and they're full right up to the collarbones. You can also visualize it this way. So use a visualization that works for you. So I exhale down to the line of the breast. Then I exhale below the ribs. And then I exhale down to the hip bones. And that would be the full emptying of the lungs. So watch again. This is interrupted exhalation, Viloma 1. And then you go back to normal breathing. And when you feel like you're ready to do it again, you can do it again. I'll do it one more time. And I am using the Rasp Breath, RASP, in order for you to hear the exhalation. But like I said before, you don't need to do a rasp breath. So once again, inhaling. And then you go back to normal breathing. The last and final pranayama that I want to share with you today on this video is Viloma 2, which is interrupted inhalation. So instead of inhaling in one long, beautiful stream, you inhale in for three steps. I mean, you can do 3 to start. So you inhale in 3 stages or 3 steps. You pause at the end of that inhalation and you hold all that air in this beautiful container, which is our 2 beautiful, healthy pink lungs. And then you exhale completely, right? So we're going to interrupt the inhalation. First of all, you want to empty your lungs with a quick blast of air. So watch carefully. So what you saw was me inhaling in 3 stages, to the lower ribs, to the level of the breast, and then to the collarbones. So imagine this beautiful container that you fill with air in 3 stages. Watch again. I exhale first, just to exhale all the air and start fresh and clean with a very empty container, right? So that was a very long exhalation. I hope you could hear it. If you start to feel lightheaded, just stop. It's very common to feel lightheaded because you're not used to doing this work. So just go slowly, take some baby steps, and practice. You can choose any one of them to practice for a period of time. And it's just like learning the piano. When you sign up for piano lessons, do you expect to play a piece of music perfectly and be in a concert and have people come and listen to you? No. When you sign up to take piano lessons, you start out very carefully and slowly learning scales, learning simple pieces of music, and you work up to the concert and to that performance piece. In the same way, you start easily and slowly with simple breath exercises. So do not expect yourself to be perfect. Take some time, just like piano lessons, and do a little bit every day. I really, really encourage you to try pranayama as a way to mitigate and take care of your anxiety. It's an excellent self-care practice. And for those of us who have anxiety and self-doubt, we need to really take good care of ourselves so that we can keep our mental and emotional health intact. I'd love to hear from you. Please subscribe to my channel. That's all for now. So 4 beautiful pranayama exercises that you can use to reduce your anxiety. Let me know how things go. Please message me. I'd love to hear from you.